Rod Ferguson, better known as the idiot who destroyed the Halo series and then got magically given Diablo 4 on a silver platter to destroy also, is a complete moron and a loser. And he just tweeted the most insanely stupid thing ever.
I wasn't going to make this video, but am now for two reasons. The first is this tweet right here from the Diablo 4 General Manager, Rod Ferguson, which we'll analyze and attempt to explain in a moment. The second is Moana Exile's talkative try here talking about an absolutely stunning series of events that occurred on the biggest day for Path of Exile ever. I needed to document this. I needed to showcase this to everyone, and I need you to
Dude, Path of Exile 2 is just something from a different world. It's so good.
understand. This is not a video trashing Diablo 4. Its players.
But I will do that anyway. Even if this video doesn't, you can bet that I will, because Diablo 4 deserves nothing.
Or its developers. It is merely
Diablo 4 has such Jaguar ad energy that I can't even.
examining a pivotal piece and moment of ARPG history and immortalizing it here on YouTube. November 21st, 2024 shall go down in the annals of gaming legend, and it's not because D4 is bad, it's because the way
It's also because D4 is bad.
Blizzard maneuvers their non-existent relationship with their closest competition, Grinding Gear Games and Path of Exile 2. So please, no need to spam D4 bad in the comments. Let's break
Go for it. I will appreciate it, because D4 is bad.
everything down. November 21st, 2024 was the day Grinding Gear Games unveiled what Path of Exile 2 would look like in early access. They revealed its vast endgame systems like the Atlas and endgame-only pinnacle bosses like Zesht.
Dude, I can already see Diablo 4 players being, "What's endgame?" It's your dick.
They explored each of the 12 Ascendancy classes available upon early access launch, including the Infernalist for the Witch, which allows you to summon a demon dog and transform into Lilith. They also addressed something spicy in the most kind and articulate way possible. We'll revisit that in a bit. First, we need to note what else happened on November 21st at the exact same time as GGG Live, Diablo 4's mid-season rundown stream on its 7th season. Of note, Diablo 4 is getting the Armory in Season 7, allowing you to store builds.
No one cares! Who is gonna seriously play more than one build in this shit game?
In-game. That's pretty rad. Aside from that, there were no other large announcements, and there wasn't really supposed to be, but they chose to schedule their reveal stream to match up with the big Path of Exile 2 reveal, and
Yeah, which is hilarious, because this is like almost, hey, Path of Exile, the big dogs are here. Dude, that is such a joke. The fact that, by the way, Blizzard thinks that they are better than Path of Exile, it is crazy.
here were the results by the numbers. On November 21st, Path of Exile 2 on Twitch popped off. The category peaked at 475,351 viewers, with 711 total channels streaming the reveal. This is absolutely
That is big.
massive. Even my live stream was crazy on Twitch. These numbers are amazing for me without raids. 490 max viewers, 397 average on a 5.4 hour live stream, with over 150 Twitch subs and 362 follows. On YouTube,
Bro, that is so insane. He literally made $600 in one stream, dude. People who watch streams out there just degenerate.
it was even wilder. I had a peak of 1,583 people watching live on YouTube, which is just insane. Other larger creators had even more massive volume, like Darth Microtransaction, whose stream went bananas on Twitch.
Oh boy.
He had 21,382 max viewers and 58,517 unique viewers. Now, let's look at Diablo 4 on Twitch to compare, again, by the numbers. On that day, their peak viewership was 23,217. That's pretty good for a mid-season stream and a preview of Season 7. However,
I mean, it's still bad. I mean, again, we're talking about Diablo, the biggest thing in the ARPG space that technically should exist. And what's happening? It's like, it's getting nothing. Diablo 4 has gotten to the point of absolute apathy at this point, also. It is just, no one cares. Diablo 4 literally decided to just become Diablo 3. There has not been a single new mechanic for the past, I don't know how many seasons, that was not already introduced in Diablo 3. It is just pathetic.
I think is more interesting is the larger view, as I think this feeds into the tweet we'll discuss in about 30 seconds. Diablo 4 viewership peaked on May 31st, 2023, with 941,488 viewers on Twitch.
Yeah, that's when we thought the game is gonna be good. That's when we were all hopeful. That's when I was saying, oh my god, I'm excited for Diablo 4! And then you know what happened. Diablo 4 came out. It was bad, and it was really, really fucking stupid and bad. So many bad decisions made, so many nothings. The story was just some kind of rando autistic girl with frying pans telling you, kill my mom. Oh, it was disaster. It was a sad, sad disaster. And again, this is from Blizzard. Blizzard is one of the biggest gaming companies in the world. Arguably, I think Blizzard is currently the biggest gaming company in the world, if we ignore GTA and everything tied to that. But other than that, I think it is Blizzard. I don't think anyone even comes close. And so the release of Diablo 4, the grand thing, the thing that people took time off of work to, was literally at slightly below a million K viewers. And Path of Exile 2, a game by literally no one, grinding who games what now? And it got what, 700k viewers? This is insane. This is absolute insanity. If Diablo 4 wasn't attached to Blizzard and was not a historic landmark in the gaming sphere, no one would be playing this game. This game would have currently 5 players botting.
Almost immediately, it trails off and has never recovered at all, in the slightest. D4 is Blizzard's other big live service, content-rich game alongside WoW, which also peaked years ago in 2019 in viewership, but remains steadier than Diablo 4. Funnily enough, if you compare Path of Exile to Path of Exile 2 on Twitch, this does not happen as it does to Diablo 4 and World of Warcraft.
Yep.
Path of Exile's viewership remains very steady every single time they release a new expansion.
Yeah, because the new expansion adds new things to do, but it's still a fun game where you have so many things that you can do. There's so many things that you want to try to do, okay? I do have some problems with the amount of versatility that Path of Exile has, but I'm not going to go into that. But it has a lot of characters that you can want to play and do want to play and things like that. And the crazy thing is, even though Path of Exile doesn't have classes, because if you're a Path of Exile 1 player, you know that every class is just a multiplier for whatever you want to play. It doesn't actually add anything, truly. But, it's still interesting. You still can play it a long time. You can make 5 characters until you get bored with a Path of Exile season. In Diablo 4, you don't even get to the end game. And you're already bored in 2 hours in when starting to play the game, and it's like, hell, you're gonna play a different character. Listen, Vessel of Hatred came out, I played the storyline, I played like 3 hours extra after that, and I didn't even play the new class. And I forgot that the game exists and forgot that I'm even playing it. That's how bad it is. It's uncomparable, it's sad.
Or update. It's phenomenal. So, obviously, Diablo 4 is flailing. Blizzard is somehow left stunned about Path of Exile 2's popularity, and here is our only other exhibit of this truth. The tweet by the Senior Vice President and General Manager,
a complete jackass,
of all things Diablo at Blizzard. Feels like the genre of ARPG, in quotations, is starting to mean a lot of different things. Much like, in quotations, Souls-like, and, in quotations, roguelike. I wonder if we could normalize, in quotations, Diablo-like, for ARPGs that follow the Diablo Formula. You don't.
This is insane, okay? This tweet is arguably one of the worst tweets ever made because there are so many ways that you can interpret this. You can interpret this as a slight to Path of Exile, that you will never be as good as Diablo, or Diablo is better than you, or you're lucky Diablo exists. It can be pure, unadulterated arrogance. The fact that he thinks that, oh yeah, by the way, ARPGs were literally called Diablo-like. Yeah, that was a name. Path of Exile was a Diablo-like until it surpassed the Diablo. That's the thing. We did used to call things Diablo-like. We still actually even slightly still kind of do, but again, no, not really that much. You completely lost this term. The term Diablo-like was a real thing to describe games, but no longer because you completely effed up and ruined everything, okay? There are so many bad ways to interpret this tweet, it's insane. And then the best part is there's literally no good ways to interpret it. This is just slight, arrogant, malice behavior, okay? That's it. The most genuinely, probably best way to interpret this tweet, which is probably the highest highest level of reaching that I have seen someone say, is, well, maybe if he actually thinks it's like Path of Exile can't even be compared to Diablo 4, so they're separate things, which is, someone commented that, and I think that is the highest, that is probably the best you could ever describe this tweet as. Even though that's still reaching, that is still arrogant as fuck.
Formula. You don't need to go check yourself. It's real. It's verified. It's a certified fresh and hot take from the leader of Diablo and Diablo 4. Breathe that in. I'm not too sure how to honestly...
Dude, I like Flicker Strike. I play Flicker Strike constantly. I love Flicker Strike.
...communicate how wild this is. My perception is that Rod either lives in a bubble or was aching for some fire to fly his way to get some engagement.
No, Rob's just a moron. That's probably...
You'd imagine after your biggest competition showcases something incredible, concepts made reality, that WoW haters, lovers, and people not even interested in Path of Exile 2, that you'd take a step back and say, huh, I bet we could learn from that. Instead, Rod decided to retreat into this tweet. He stuck...
Diablo can't even learn from its own mistakes.
...his head in the sand like an ostrich and started to scream. Let me just read it one more time. Feels like the genre of ARPG is starting to mean a lot of different things. Much like Souls-like and roguelike, I wonder if we could normalize Diablo-like for ARPGs that follow the Diablo formula. The crazy thing is, the dude is right. The genre does mean many different things, and Diablo's biggest competitors are doing something incredible and bold, but instead of giving them a kind bow or not saying anything, Rod went out and seriously pitched other games be implicitly named after the series he currently oversees, and if they stray too far, then they cannot be compared to his precious Diablo. This is hilarious, and what so many people have said for years in a way about Diablo 4 and Path of Exile, but now the dude in charge is saying it too in a thinly veiled manner, and it's the only thing he'll ever say about Path of Exile and grinding gear games. Essentially, he's trying to say Path of Exile 2 isn't a Diablo-like anymore, so it cannot be compared to Diablo 4, and people should stop...
Yeah, that is exactly what I read. That is, again, that is probably the best interpretation if you're being the most charitable that you can ever be against this creature, which you shouldn't be. Also, imagine if he says, "Oh, that was not aimed at Exile." I don't know if he has said that because the tweet's technically old at this point. I don't know if he has said that, but imagine you're the lead of Diablo 4 and you don't even know what your competition is doing, while everyone is ditching your game left, right, and center, and you have no idea what your competition is doing. That is just called being bad at business, okay? Rod Ferguson has no excuses. He is the bottom of the litter.
Trying to match up the two. which is just absolutely massive cope. What's even crazier is the term Diablo-like has been around forever, since the days of Diablo 1 and Diablo 2.
Yep.
And it's how grinding your games described their own game. They
Oh,
said it
actually, yeah, that is true. That is true. Grinding Gear Games called Path of Exile a spiritual successor to Diablo 4. Not 4, but 2. That is true. That is true.
spiritual successor to Diablo 2.
Yep,
way back in
spiritual
2010
successor.
and onward. They recognized the genius there. They captured it and they built on it, and now they've created a darn good
Ooh.
sequel to their first game, putting all the care, love, and effort into it that they needed to. Rod Ferguson is scared. He is threatened, so he's lashing out. I've dealt with this in creating content on YouTube.
Rod Ferguson probably is too good at sucking dick, so he doesn't actually care. It's like none of dude. If Rod Ferguson wasn't fired on the spot when Diablo 4 came out, he's never gonna get fired in the first place. Okay, no one cares that this idiot is just only rehashing already done things from Diablo 3. No one cares. It's like it's such a failure. The guy's just this disgusting freak. Anyway, that was Talkative 3, 10 out of 10. Bye.